We are currently working on our horde base. So, if you're into the base building side of 7 Days to Die, welcome. This is a good time for you. If you're more into the questing side of 7 Days to Die, don't worry, we'll be getting to that fairly soon. Also, I've got a sprain for another 56 seconds. Can I resist jumping and or sprinting to make it worse? But thank you so much for the raid, mate. I hope everyone had a fantastic time over on the stream. Our character would have been hospitalized. All the glass shattered. Oh. That doesn't sound so great, actually. So, could you answer me a question? Do you upgrade the train throughout it? Or is it more of a, like, is that train your baby? Are you like a private contractor? Or are you just another cog in the machine? You drive what they tell you to drive. How much of a simulation versus how much of a game is that game? You don't upgrade the train, but there are 5 pretty different trains. So each one is kind of a learning a new bit. Okay, so more in the theme then of like Microsoft Flight Sim. Though now this is just making me want the Microsoft Flight Sim where you have your own plane and you're slowly upgrading it through a career, little by little, expanding it out, getting better engines, paying R&D. Wait, that's Kerbal Space Program. Never mind. The trains are simulated really well. Oh, that's actually, yeah, that was another question I meant to ask. Is how high is the fidelity of the simulation? It definitely looks pretty in-depth from what I was seeing. The game that Alex was playing was Derail Valley. I have not played many of those kinds of simulations, like where it's really high fidelity and an actual job. I've played plenty of simulation games where it is high fidelity, but you know, usually I'm trying to stop dwarves from vomiting over each other whilst they're beating their children to a pulp. You know, really, really deep simulations, but not exactly normal work. The simulation is insane, actually. Physics, hydraulics, pneumatics, weight distribution, hill gradation, and momentum. Oh, that sounds pretty cool then. So an awful lot for you to take in, have to take in and manage. There are a bunch of different mission types, up to hazmat and military contract. Right. So the final mission is being the monorail train driver, taking Freeman into Black Mesa. Then just another day on the job. It's not too detailed yet. It started as a VR game, then moved towards him. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. I do apologize for the rather tedious just wood chopping that I'm doing right now. Black Mesa Escape DLC. That would legitimately, that would be amazing. Even to the point of simulating black EMF on electric traction motors. Wow. So, here's the real question then, Alex. Not to put you on the spot or anything. But how many stars out of eel would you give it? It scratches the X4 itch, minus the faction management aspect. It's like being a single cog in a larger company. Ah, I see. Yeah, I imagine Alex could instead just give me a specific eel as a rating. Unfortunately, I do not know eel facts sufficiently well to be able to pass that kind of rating system. I give it a 10 out of 10. Easily my top 3 favorite games. I say, really? Like, wow, that's... I wasn't expecting such glowing praise. Dear Lord. Aavak, Derail Valley is such a hilarious game, says Rotrain. It's actually quite chill, up until you're going downhill, and remember you haven't charged the brakes. And now, do not have brakes. Ah, I see. So, to follow on from your glowing praise of a 10 out of 10 top 3 games, is that in the simulation genre or games as a whole? At a glance, it seems like a sleepy, relaxing game like Truck Sim, but actually you're in a ticking bomb trying to keep it from exploding or derailing. Seems that they named it correctly then. That's exactly what it says on the tin. Derail. Fair enough. Oh, it's such amazing praise. I might have to check it out, to be honest. Wow, Leafin. Don't antagonize the streamers. Rude. So how's that been going for you? I suspect we already know the answer, Leafin. I suspect from the comments about shattered glass that maybe it wasn't going perfectly. You scallywag. But it sounds like you had an amazing time. I'm really, really glad for it, mate. We are... Well, what I'm turning down right now was the remnants of a horde base, which did okay on the first horde. I've currently got the hordes on a wander. So the actual horde day can wander by 2 days. So it can be as early as the 6th day or as late as the 8th day. And we had the first horde night, was bang on schedule on the 7th day. So that was all well and good, but I kind of didn't give myself enough time to finish the horde base. It was very bare bones what I had, and so most of the night was spent me kind of running the gauntlet of my own horde base in a almost Benny Hill like running around, getting the zombies to chase me, taking a few moments to reload my gun, smacking them a couple of times, and then once they started to overwhelm me, leaping off to my salvation and having them all throw themselves off to try and chase me again. It was surprisingly amusing, but not quite the horde night that I was hoping for. I had all of these grand plans and I expected amazing things. Sadly, the amazing things mostly happened for the zombies. From their perspective, it was an amazing horde night. That being said, it was still technically successful since I didn't die, but it was not exactly what I'd hoped for. That's the same analog itch scratch as Starbase, pushing all the buttons on your ship that you painstakingly familiarized with, or carrier command learning all the stations, minus all the combat. Yeah, no, it was kind of getting that vibe from the way you were describing it, to be honest. It actually took some work for Italic to derail a train on purpose. Okay. So it's good to know that you won't necessarily be doing it easily by accident. That being said, now you've said that, I feel like you've invoked some sort of streamer curse, and that the moment I decide to play the game, that's the first thing that's going to happen. I'm probably going to derail myself in the tutorial. There we go. I need to make sure that the hinges are on the right side of this. Dunk. Let's get this repaired. Now, what we've been doing is mostly I've been working on the base at night. Though, really interesting for this character build, I've ended up getting perks that just make this character particularly good at nighttime operations. So in terms of the perk books, I got sneaking over trash makes no sound, which makes it a lot easier to move around at night and do nighttime quests, not having to worry that I didn't spot the glass on the floor, so now everything in the house is awake and trying to murderize me. But I've got 10% more sneak damage at night. Bladed weapons do 10% more damage at night. Never encumbered at night. That one is crazy. Because it effectively means I can forget about pocket mods or taking pack mule. At least if I focus on doing night missions, I'm never going to be encumbered. That's kind of a huge one. Gain 5% more experience points for kills at night, which, interestingly enough, when you think about it, is the only time you will ever have a horde night. So that's just a flat 5% extra experience from horde nights. Not even having to put myself in extra danger. The horde night's going to happen whether I like it or not. So I'm just going to get more from it. And that's actually a particularly nice one. But also do extra 50% sneak damage to sleeping victims at night, which is a particularly good one. Rangers get to archery. I can craft flaming arrows. I hadn't really seen that. That's pretty cool. The Daywalker exists as a perk. Sadly, no. That would be amazing, though. There's not too much else that I really have yet, but I'm pretty happy with those perks. I've already got a makeshift silencer, which, hilariously, I put on my pipe shotgun. Don't ask how that works. I don't think there's really going to be a satisfying answer. There we go. Right now I'm just focused on trying to get a platform that I can operate on. And also attack down from, should I need to. So the next stage is building something out at the back. I would like to get some more pillars to try and support this structure, because we are going to start hitting the point where I can't build this anymore. Oh, this is dangerous. I've already sprained my leg once. I don't want to do it again because it's really annoying and takes ages to heal. But living on the edge, chat. Living on the edge. Really on the edge. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, everything's sorted. Now I can just build that all backwards and we're good. But before you worry about the practicality of having all of these holes in the ground here, whilst I'm trying to do anything sensible, there will be an additional layer of flooring here as well that I will attach grills to. The idea is that in the middle of combat, if I can hear anything banging on the pillars down there, I can just look down through the grates that will exist, flip open the hatch, take a couple of shots, flip it back down. This will give me very, very good, complete sight over everything going on below me. Won't be able to lob Molotovs down, though. That is perhaps a flaw in the design. Hey, Hobo Billy Joel. Hi, Aavak. Love the videos, don't catch the stream much, but your relaxed demeanour and dulcet accent is one of my go-tos for content when I need a calming presence to fall asleep to. Oh, thank you. Very glad that you like it. Sadly, I don't have any more cobble. Do I have the means? Oh, I've got the means to make more. Again, building, easily one of the best sources of experience in the game. Now I just need these to all be attached. Right, so this is going to be the platform from which we're going to be fighting. I will probably raise up a roof up to about this high. Pop in some... I'll have the pillars exist to provide vertical stability, because then the roof will be built off the pillar rather than built off the floor in terms of where it's getting its structural stability from. So that's going to give me more blocks to play with. Structural stability in this game is... It can take a bit of work to try and puzzle out exactly how it works, but once you've got a handle on it, it is reasonably straightforward. So with that, I'm going to be able to ideally have some sort of grates at the top, maybe even more hatches as well, just so I can throw them open and attack any vultures above me. But the entry point for this area will either be a door somewhere along here, or... well, you know... I've just realized something, chat. I don't know whether it's a bad thing or it's kind of a cute thing, but I've built this for me and Lady Sheila to fight the horde base together. My brain has just been in complete like autopilot mode, and I've designed a 2-player horde base. I don't think I'm going to need that. I'm going to be able to scale back on my design, which is going to scale back enormously on the amount of resources we need as well. Alright, so the approach will still function the same way, and I still want them to run towards a door rather than just attack the aperture that I'm firing from. But this is going to afford me a couple of different options. It's going to give me a couple of different options in the way that I approach this. I like that. I could, in fact, have the approach go straight down the middle if I really wanted to. But I like the idea of it coming down the side and then having to go across the middle. Because, like, I could perhaps... let me quickly draw it out on the floor. So, not to scale. This is the horde base. That's that whole section there. Now, ultimately, what I would like is this here to be the door in. So, enemies would approach and then have to turn to the side and then go through this door. And from that position, I would have... actually, I'll use a different block for this. Let's go for block shapes. Something like that will do. I would have visibility here. Now, I'd like to play around with a melee base and just get the ability to just attack outwards. So as they're trying to get to the door, it'll be a fairly... I would want it to be a narrow approach, like maybe a half block, flush with the wall. So they're kind of shimmying along this wall. Mind you, that's also going to be my point of entrance. I don't want to cheese it by giving myself something like, it's a ladder 2 steps up so the zombies will never try to jump in. The route that the zombies take has to be valid for me to be able to take. Because that way it feels, okay, well, I've given them a fair run at it. If I can do it, then so can they. So, from that position, I would be able to see as the door is going down. Ideally, I'd like blocks here that I can reach through in order to repair. But they will be over here on a fairly narrow step. So, let's find a half block for this. No, not centered. Don't want centered. There we go. So let's say that this is the path that they have to walk in order to approach. And then, so if I'm smacking them with any kind of melee weapon, it's just going to push them off the back and they'll just tumble down to the ground. Now, I would also like them to be approaching head on so that I can line up... rifle shots, especially once I start going penetrate and shoot through multiple heads at once. But I don't want them to just approach this point. I want them to have to walk along, because if there's a narrow pathway and they're having to jumble up in order to attack, they'll push each other off as well. Now, that would kind of work to my advantage in that if zombies are clustered too close together, they get strength multiplied. So they'll be able to pull the door down super fast. But if, in trying to clump up, they're just getting each other's way and just falling off, kind of like you and your siblings playing Super Mario, then it's going to just keep thinning them out so they're never able to get that kind of massive damage bonus against the door. So I can just keep repairing it, just keep walloping them off. Maybe have a robo sledge or something. Oh, actually, yeah. I think what we could do is, if I go to a half block now, I'll do. So I could have an approach of some arbitrary length. I'd want it to be decently long. Something like this. And then along this side, they would approach. So there'd be a point here where they would have to take an angle. Maybe that would be the perfect place to stick a sledge turret. So as they're running, well, no, because it would be in my firing line. I think the sledge turret would have to go here. But then as they're approaching here, the sledge turret will punt a couple of them off into the pit. But the press of enemies will eventually overwhelm it, and then they'll get down here and attack. Down here, though, is I would want to have some kind of access point to reach this area that I could get to myself, perhaps taking a catwalk outside, like so. So maybe I'm gonna have to play around with the distances involved to make this work. But what I would want is on either side for me to have access to the ability to set up electric fences. So this would be the rough idea. Somewhere out here would be the stairs and ladders up. Zombies come up, being shot by me, being shocked by electric fences, being held in place, shot by me more. A couple will overwhelm it, rush around the corner. Either I'll have a sledge or I won't, I don't know. Then finally they get here, and because their pathfinding is programmed, they are designed to consider a door as especially attractive for their attacks. It won't matter if the door is very high health versus, well, I mean, after a certain point it will. Like if I've got a vault door but the rest of the walls are made of wood, they'll just try to burrow through the walls. But I can have a fairly strong door here, even compared to the walls, and they'll just try to go for the door. So I can just repair that. I think that's going to be the plan. I might even leave these materials in place so that we can continue gathering resources for it, and a bit of an idea of what I'm trying to build. So the door would be somewhere around here. The central area would be my viewing gallery and fighting area, which means more or less directly in line with this would be the approach. And then on the far side, coming out, would be an area for me to set up my electric fences or something along those lines. I think that could work. Now, because the base is so high up, when they fall off, they should be out of range that... I alluded to it earlier, that there is a range at which enemies will no longer enter destroy everything mode if they take damage while falling. Now, normally they will always do that. But at a certain distance, it stops being a concern. I've got way too much just medicine on me. That's kind of wild. I guess it doesn't matter too much. I'll leave it in there. But at a certain distance, that becomes an issue for them. So they'll fall down here, take damage, but can't enter destruction mode because they're outside of the kind of the simulation range of the player. So you can kind of think of it like LOD in games where they'll load in a low poly asset at range, but then as the player gets closer, they will load in the higher detail models. The AI pathfinding works in a similar way. It does a much simpler job at greater distances from the player, and then when it gets close, it starts getting all of its fancy behaviors. We should be high enough up that when they fall down there and take damage, they're not going to care about it, and they're just going to try and repath to me without trying to destroy everything. And even if they do, at least on the base side of things, we've got these pillars that will have spikes down there just to further dissuade them from doing anything. It's going to be an interesting one, but I'm hoping that this will work. But with that, I think we're going to go and do an infested clear at a place in the middle of the night. Because why not? Yeah, plenty of time to do base buildy stuff. I just like being in here. This is where zombie doggos live. Did my bike just... My bike just got damaged from driving... Well, I mean, I guess. Probably got glass shards in the wheels now. The tyres. Alright, hello you. Right, you've lost sight of me. Oh, that was way too high. I need to adjust my my ranging. That kill? No. Good. Come along then. Oh my lord, you're going to take way too long. I'm not going to use that anymore. I've still got to try and get my... readjust my aiming, because I'm so used to the primitive bow now and having to overcompensate for it. Alright, time for a nice, stealthy, infested clear. Thank you very much, Dr. Slime. There's 37 months of support there. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Now, we're going to be doing an infestation at night. Not the smartest move. We're a couple of sweet rolls shy of a white run guard. Yeah, it's actually gone nighttime for this. Glorious. Everything up here is going to be much harder now. Yo, D-Echo961, how you doing? Just popping in to say hi and going off to work. Well, you enjoy work, mate, as much as you can anyway. I need to get a sight on the zomble that is definitely in there. I believe is right there. Zombie vulture hasn't noticed me. Never will. I am a ghost shadow, Chad. Damage. Did it fall down? It did. I could go down there and get it, but I'm not gonna. Now, the thing with this place is there are going to be twice as many zombies as usual. Other thing about this mission is that I am literally incapable of becoming encumbered right now because of my perks. So, I guess we take advantage of this. Oh, I very much disapprove of having to drop down in there, though. How the heck did you get up here? How on earth did you get up here? Where did you come from? Also, please tell me I've got my flashlight helmet on. Isn't that F to turn that on? Is it T maybe? Nope. Okay, I'm going to have to refresh my memory on what the control is for that. Oh, toggle flashlight. Should be F. Does the mining helmet not come with a light? Oh, no it doesn't. Horse. I built the mining helmet, but I didn't make the light. Even though the light is on the model, no, that's a mod, and I can put that in anything. Look, I am schmert. I don't care what you say. Should have made a flashlight then. Oh, this is vexing. Thankfully, I do have these. Someone in there. Yep. Go for the nurse beside them. One down. Again, this is nighttime, so everything here can get nasty very quickly. Thank you very much, lightning. That'll cover the sounds of my movement a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Sawed off shotgun schematic. Sure. I'm gonna cut you up. I think I may have actually got a skill point as well. Oh, finally got a lockpick. Did I get a skill point earlier? I did get a skill point. Okay. Can't take from the shadows more. Damn. Okay. I could take a better point in archery. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Coming in. Wait. That was very satisfying. Now, the thing about lights is as long as you're not carrying an active one, then when zombies spawn as sleepers or not, they'll do a quick stealth check to see if you're going to wake, if they'll notice you. Now, that isn't so much dependent on how much light you're in as how much light you're casting. So the trick is not to be the one casting the light when the sleepers are spawned in. But it's only when they spawn in. I think once they're spawned, it no longer matters. It's just the initial check on loading that affects it. There's one in there, isn't there? I think so. Very slowly. I'm visible, but my visibility only matters if they can see me. What I'm caring about right now is the sound I'm making. I'll do a lot of damage with this knife. Damn it. Completely flubbed that. Still took his leg off, though. This is a feral. You can tell by the glowing eyes. But thankfully, that fight was a hell of a lot easier because he didn't have a leg. But yeah, I was a little bit too far out. I know there's someone back there that I'm going to want to deal with. There's someone in there. Yeah, lighting is starting to adjust. Let's grab other things, bits and bobs around the place, just in case. Scrap those shoes straight away. Grab the pot, sure. I can't make sound when I'm moving over bags, so that's not an issue for me. I believe up there is where the fire was gouting out, so we need to find where the control valve for the gas pipe is. That's a nice quick kill. Oh, nice high value zombie, lots of experience points for that. I might even actually start being good for me to go back and start doing Daring Adventurer. The other thing I could... Oh, well, no, I need more intelligence to do that. That's a shame. I was going to say the other thing I could do is grab the locksmith. That would be nice, but I don't think really helped me there. Oh, this allows me to craft glue cheaper. Oh, wow. And this also gives me 15% experience from electrical trap kills? Yes. I'd like it, but we're going to hold off on that one first. There are a couple of other things I want to point into first. Finding more ore, blah, blah, blah. Harvest 40% more ore stone. Yeah, we'll grab that because there's going to be a lot of building in my very near future. So, being better at building, or rather getting more bang for buck. The effort that I put in. Yeah, there's all the fire up there. I do like that they're trying to go in that direction because it's going to give modders a lot to play with. Oh, damn. The light that we had was actually coming from the moon. Which, as you can imagine, is now gone. Oh, there we are. Ow. Pay that and sell it. So, that's a decent bit of cash right there. Going up there will be a pain. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. Grab these chairs, because I can immediately scrap them down for wood. Thirsty. Let's not be thirsty. Oh. Sod it. Actually, this will give me water. Never mind, we're going to go for the hobo stew. Good timing. Hello, Powie. Where are we going to go? Softly. Don't want to get stuck in a room. The other thing I would say to do is now that there are... that one's going up to the attic, so I'm going to close this one. And I'm going to instead check this one. Now that there are zombies that'll spawn behind the player, it makes a lot more sense now than it ever did before to close doors as you go. Because that way, if something does spawn nearby, but in a room where you've closed the door, they've first got to beat the way out of the door before they can get to you. Gives you a few extra seconds to react to it, which can sometimes make all the difference. Maybe don't close your own... Well, yeah, I suppose I could close that. I was going to say maybe I shouldn't close my only route of egress, but it won't take me long to open it. I already got that book, okay. Going up into the treasure room. Take. Scrap. Modify. Then... break this down. By the way, when you're selling stuff, a good strategy for selling is if you've got mods you will never use, like they're just mods for a weapon, and you dislike that mod type completely, and you would never make use of it. If that's the case, just go ahead and put it in a weapon before you sell it to the trader. You will get so much more money for that weapon as a consequence. Just like what I'm seeing. Uh-oh. Okay. Nope. Oh dear me. Woo! This is not a good place for me to be, and this is why a smart person takes parkour. To control the scenario. Hello. I really don't feel like dealing... Where are you going? Are you beating your way out of that wall? I guess. Actually, you know what? This is a good opportunity for me to do something I don't do nearly often enough. Any in there I caught? When you have problems... Ah! I knew it! I was too slow. I was too focused on what I was doing. But, if you've got a problem, apply explosives. It is a pretty solid method, in my opinion. Hello. Hi. They are going to come up here, though. One down. Is he dead? He might be dead. The others. They lost me? They might have. I may have moved far enough out of the way. You didn't hear a candle, no. You heard a pipe bomb, though. Uh-oh. Ouch. No reason to be stealthy while running. At this point. Oh, dear. Need to use this. Oh. Low health. Now, he's bleeding, so he should go down on his own. Use a second one. Even when it would make more sense for me to use resources to... to just let myself die rather than use resources I don't have much of. I try to play the game as if this is permadeath. Or rather, I try to roleplay my character not wanting to die. Go figure. However... that's close enough. Yep. Yeah, job's a good one. Now we can go back through and properly explore. Yeah, they beat their way straight out. Oh, hi. Take you out with a headshot if I can. Oh, that was a massive miss. And that one, not so much. Yeah, when I saw a soldier coming through, I was like, no, I think it would be best if I skedaddle. Now, what I could have done, and what I should have done, is once they started heading towards me, thrown this down. Maybe even reinforced it, or done that first, and then done something to make noise, to draw them out. Things to learn. Oh, thank you very much, Dieko. 28 months of support. Diolch yn fawr iawn, mate. Massively appreciated, buddy. We've got electrical traps. Bow hunting. And that one really doesn't do much. Yep. Why am I breaking that down? I don't even. Night Stalker Volume 1 already got. We'll scrap those.